Our four heroes rolled into Phandalin hauling the recovered supplies. After delivering the cargo, the party headed to the Stonehill Inn to turn in for the night. But, upon hearing that Phandalin was being terrorized by a band of ruffians named the Redbrands, our heroes vowed to hatch a plan to rid the village of these scoundrels. Pip, the innkeeper's son, informed our heroes that his friend Carp had found a secret tunnel to the Redbrand's hideout. Azorio realized that if they stole one of the Redbrand's signature red capes, they could pay the local weaver Freda to sew replicas. Splendorous then thought up an ingenious plan to make a lasso out of a bedsheet and use it in a game he called Sliploop to drag members of the Redbrands into the shadows to take their capes. Sandowish then declared that the party must have a name, and hastily deemed our heroes the Four Stones without settling securely on the fourth member. 3 of the 4 stones headed over to the Redbrand's favorite hangout, the Sleeping Giant. But when the 4 stones arrived, they saw through the tavern window Narth, a local farmer, and drunk. They had taught the game Sliploop to previously at the Stonehill Inn. He had joined the Redbrands, and now teaching them how to play Sliploop. When a Redbrand stumbled into the alley to relieve himself, Splendorous abandoned his intricate plan and simply tackled the Redbrand. Sensing an opportunity, Sandowish ripped the cape from the Redbrand's back as he ran by. The 4 stones returned to the Stonehill Inn, and Freda headed off to sew 3 more capes by the next day's end. Today, the 4 stones will explore the town as they patiently await for the disguises at nightfall. You awake in your separate rooms. The sun is out, and you're ready for the day. What is your morning routines?
Splendorous wakes up with a start, and he instinctively reaches up to touch his hair. He realizes he's not wearing his wig. He stretches without saying anything to anybody. He just starts putting on his clothes and armor and starts thinking about getting some food.
What's his hair like under his wig?
He has blonde hair and it's cut like a page boy. Then he pulls it back and then has a net thing, and then he puts his wig on or whatever.
What's his wig of choice today?
Well, it's something that is kind of strange is that his hair does change color a lot, but nobody's quite sure how he does it because it doesn't seem like he has different wigs. Today, his wig is going to be long, straightened hair, but he's pulled it back into a ponytail, but then it's still got some of the front. How they did it in The Patriot. It's tied in the back with a red ribbon.
Nice. Azorio, you've finished your meditation. What is your morning routine before you head downstairs?
Azorio looks out at the sunlight. He pensively and reflectively pulls out his tome, and he looks upon an image that he has sketched in there of his elven village, and he just thinks about how circuitous his journey has been so far, how kind of convoluted it's been, but he realizes that if he can bring back something good to his elven village, that all will be worthwhile. So he looks upon this image as a visualization. He performs his morning ablution, splashing some cold water on his face a few times, applying some ointments and salves.
When you splash water on your face, Azorio, you think how much better it would be if the water would freshly flow into the basin and then flow out.
Exactly.
Sandowish, you awaken in a grog.
Sandowish already is downstairs eating second breakfast.
So you're having your second helping of bacon and eggs.
Sandowish also is nervous about being in this Redbrand town. He's glanced at the door. He looked out the windows.
Well, Sildar is up early and he's next at the table.
Oh, Sildar's there. Great.
Well, he just arrived. He's next to the table. I don't know if that makes you feel more comfortable or less.
Well, what was wrong with Sildar?
I don't know.
I thought he was the 4th stone.
He is the fourth stone, man. Well, are Narth's not the fourth stone anymore? I guess he left the band.
I thought Pip was the fifth stone.
Yeah, but Narth's like the original drummer, you know? Sildar sits down next to you, Sandowish. Good morning.
Sildar, good morning to you, sir.
Did you have a good sleep last night? I hope you didn't get into any trouble once I went to bed last night.
Oh, us? Well, I've got quite the tale for you later. But first we need to gather everyone and head into town.
Well, we are in town already, but we can explore the town.
Right. I say we hit up the town square.
That's fine. There's not much of a square really here, but we can go to the town master's hall.
Why?
Well, it's the closest thing to a square, I would assume. Unless you want to go to the town green, but there's nothing there.
Town green, huh?
Splendorous comes downstairs. He doesn't seem like he's in a very good mood this morning as he stomps down the stairs. He looks kind of different today, and he's not wearing any makeup or anything. Sandowish, where is Azorio? I need some advice about how we go about today. I was thinking as I was falling asleep last night, and I think I have an idea.
Oh, good morning, Splendorous.
Good morning to you.
Azorio has not risen yet. He's probably in his room.
I shall not disturb him.
You hear the clip-clop of nimble elven footsteps. Azorio unceremoniously walks down the stairs.
Ah, here he is now.
Good morning.
Greetings. It is a good morning.
Azorio, says Splendorous. I have an idea about today. It seems like since we're in town, it's going to be a little bit less on the combat and more on persuasion, wouldn't you say?
Yes, I think finding out more about the Redbrand hideout might be in order.
So, here's my plan. How about nobody will recognize me from the night before because I look very, very different now. Also, I look more like a regular noble. I could pass for one. In fact, I even have the required stuff needed to prove my identity as a Neverwinter noble. Perhaps I could use that flex in order to gain extra knowledge around here, and they wouldn't know that I'm a fighter, yet I can still kill with my bare hands very easily. The great axe and the javelin are actually just for show, to be honest.
Trina walks up and she says, "Can I get you gentlemen anything for breakfast? I know the halfling has already had 2 portions, and unless he would like another, we mostly just have bacon and eggs this morning."
I'll have one more.
Right away.
Splendorous, without breaking eye contact with Azorio, he says, "Bacon, eggs, and a glass of wine."
Okay. And for you, good elf?
Oh, bacon and eggs, if that's what you're cooking, that's what I'll take.
All right. And
Azorio, do you break eye contact with Splendorous, or do you say that while still playing this like weird game?
Yes, he breaks eye contact with Splendorous.
Okay, Splendorous continues to look at him.
And I'll have one as well. All right, that will be 5 Bags and Acon coming up here very quickly. And she heads off.
Did you say Bags and Acons?
I'm unfamiliar with this Begs and Acon variation on bacon and eggs.
Oh, you haven't had Bags and Acons?
No, I have not have.
Delicious.
Now I can't even say it.
It's when they put you in a bag and they beat you up so you have the aches.
Who said that?
Bags and Acons. I don't know. It's a bag and Acon.
Did God enter the conversation? And it's Anson's voice.
Oh, that's when they put you in a bag and they beat you so you have aches. You see Pips there with a giant plate of bacon and eggs.
Oh, I forgot about this kid.
Well, what are you gonna do today?
Azorio, what do you think about my plan, or should I just dress up as normal?
It's not a bad plan per se, but you might want to flesh out what, not necessarily in every picture perfect detail, but you might want to flesh out what type of knowledge it is you are seeking. Sometimes knowledge does not just offer itself up.
I like your red bow.
Yes, thank you. Hey,
Are you gonna talk to my friend, Carp?
Hey, adults are talking.
Oh! He just continues eating his giant portion of bacon and eggs.
Splendoria says, well, what are we supposed to do today? Aren't we supposed to be talking to a lot of people?
Sildar says, well, Pip has mentioned that his friend Carp over at Alderleaf's farm found a secret tunnel potentially into the Redbrand's secret hideout. We could start there, or...
Now this seems very promising.
What is the #1 quest we should be doing right now?
Well, I would...
How many tabs do we have open?
Well, the way I see it, I have one main quest line right now, just to kill the guy who tried to kill me, who's in the Redbrands.
You want to go through this tunnel that Mr. over here is talking about? In this farm? Huh? Yeah, you wanna go look in the tunnels? Get some revenge?
I think my friend Anario might be there too. I would prefer we pursue that.
Who's Anario?
It's my friend. He's a wizard. If you help me find him and defeat the Redbrands, I'll give you 200 gold.
All right, Sildar. It sounds like this 4 stones may not be hitting many birds, but one giant bird all at once. I know someone else who might be of use. I told the group about it last night, but I'm not sure if you're there.
Well, why don't you tell me again?
I've heard of someone named Halia Thornton. I'm not sure from whom, but maybe some night in a tavern or just passing through the town, I overheard this Halia Thornton also had something against the Redbrands. Perhaps they tried to kill her too.
Well, she runs the Phandalin's minor exchange. She's the guild master there. And so she is very invested in the economy of this town. I would expect that she would hate the Redbrands very much. We could talk to her too. She might have some information. She does run a lot of the business here in town.
And maybe an extra reward.
Yes, she's very wealthy. She is in charge of all the mining claims and she pays out all the miners for their haul.
Right, gentlemen, this is how we do it. Splendorous, this is what you're talking about. This is how you do it. You accept every quest, no matter how big, how small.
Well, I wouldn't mind if we go to the Shrine of Luck before we start anything, just to put luck on our side. We could throw a coin in.
I always accept every quest. Every quest leads to greater glory.
If I recall, last night you were talking about blowing off this quest till we were level 14, and then, coming back.
Yes, I remember that as well.
Well, guess what? I've got one thing to say. Wizard? You really think that we should align ourselves with a wizard?
Well, Azorio.
You really want to roll the dice? Really want to gamble on the high slots, huh?
Anario, my friend and ally in the Lord's Alliance, is also a wizard.
Yes, his so-called friend, his so-called ally. Now, what kind of wizard are we talking here exactly?
Just a general practitioner.
Splendorous looks at Sandowish and Azorio with a look like, oh shit, guys, we are fucked. The cat's out of the bag now.
Sandowish just nods and puts his hands up to Splendorous as if it's all good.
Berlina serves you your bacon and eggs.
I eat.
Splendorous just shakes his head and chuckles as he puts his feet up with his heeled boots onto the table and eats his bacon and eggs and sips his wine and every now and then mutters, general practitioner. Oh, God. Oh, we are so fucked.
Azorio eats his bacon and eggs methodically.
Sandowish, just standing up on the bench while he eats, says, all right, order of business. Shrine of Luck, Alderwich Farms, and then off to the supply depot.
Sildar says, are we not going to stop by the Shrine of Luck before we start our day?
That's the first stop.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I thought that's what I said.
I couldn't hear this over my own chewing.
Shrine of Luck, Alderwich Farms, and then we go to Halia Thornton's little store.
I like that plan.
Splendor tries to help Sandowish down from the chair. He offers a gloved hand.
Sandowish looks at Splendorous. Now that his armor's off, he can truly see how strong Splendorous is. And Sandowish extends his other arm, both arms, as if to gesture for you to pick him up and put him down. He has a wild look in his eyes.
Splendorous gently picks him up like he's handling a big koosh ball that can pop easily. And so he handles it and then he puts you on the ground. As he's about to walk away, he says, were you standing on that chair so that you could be taller than us when you talk to us?
I always eat like that. I can't sit on a bench. Still with the wild look in his eyes, Sandowish says, Splendorous, I have an idea.
You pay Trilina a gold coin, and on your way out, you hear Pip say hi to Carp for me! You head to the Shrine of Luck, which is run by Sister Guerlil. Phandalin's only temple is a small shrine made of stones taken from the ruins. It is dedicated to Tremara, goddess of luck and good fortune. Inside you find an elven woman seated beside a pool filled with coins.
Splendorous says, what are we supposed to do here exactly?
Well, the tradition is you throw a coin into the fountain and it brings you good luck for the day.
And the more money we throw in, the better luck we'll get, right?
I'm not sure if it's a pay-to-play situation, but I'm sure the shrine would be very appreciative of that.
Well, how about we do a little experiment then?
All right.
I'd like to talk directly to the priestess, if you don't mind.
Well, Sister Gurlila is right there by the pool.
Ah.
Sandowish tosses a copper piece in.
Sister Gurlila says, "Thank you very much. Are you new in town?"
Why, yes, we are, but I always look for a shrine of luck.
Splendorous goes up to her and he smiles and he holds out his gloved hand. My lady, I am Splendorous at your service.
I'm glad to meet you. And she shakes your hand with a thin, wispy hand.
And Splendorous takes it and he says, "Kisses from Neverwinter is what I bring here. And yet also I have a riddle of faith for you."
Indeed. I'm glad to answer anything you have.
You have given your life to luck. Is that correct?
I have, and good fortune.
Luck and good fortune. Well, good fortune has brought me in here today because, as you'll see, this is a test of your faith. If you put in money, luck will shine on you, mayhaps. Is that correct?
Yes.
And if you put in perhaps, let's say, 2,000 gold, you would receive lots of luck indeed, wouldn't you?
Well, it stands to seem that way. You certainly are welcome to try.
Yes, well, how about this? Are you willing to bet on this principle of your entire faith that donating money to the church will bring more luck to the church than if nobody brought any money at all to them? Money for the church is a good thing, right?
Yes. We can do much good with it.
You would say, if you received lots of money today, you would say that it's because your faith brought you such great luck. Isn't that correct?
No, I would say that it's because someone put a large amount of money in the pool.
It has nothing to do with faith.
It's faith that Timora will bring you luck with your offering.
With your offering. Now, how about this? If one were to take from the church, if one were to steal, that person would experience bad luck, isn't that correct?
Maybe, or maybe it was good fortune that no one noticed.
Well, you would have noticed, wouldn't you?
Well, have you done it?
No, I've never stolen anything in my life. However, I'm willing to bet that if I stole from this church, I would experience such horrible luck, wouldn't I? Terrible luck.
Well, here, I have a better way of putting this to the test. I have been trying to speak to a banshee named Agatha. She knows the location of an ancient spell book by the legendary mage Gentle. Awful name. But maybe if I give you this silver jeweled comb as offerings to Agatha, and you flatter her, which I seem to not be able to flatter that little shit. I don't know why.
It doesn't say that in the book.
But if you're willing, I will give you a potion of healing in return if you can find the information of where this spelled book is.
I'll do you one better. I will do all of that with very, very, very terrible luck guaranteed. And you know how I'll do that?
How is that?
Here's the conditions. You have to give us all of the offerings made within the past year from the church. And in return, we will accomplish your quest. Terrible luck. And that will prove your faith because we experienced bad luck. And I'll be converted. I'll be a believer in luck then. I do not believe in luck.
I will offer you a healing potion if you are able to find this information. But that's all I can offer.
You can't offer the collections from today.
No.
Sandowish puts a hand out to Splendorous again as to be like, "It's cool, man, it's cool." Then Sandowish says to the sister, "Blessings of Timora be upon you. I too worship this god of luck."
The halflings are always great worshippers of Timora.
"And we will accept your quest. Let us take the comb."
All right. And she hands over a silver comb jeweled with a butterfly on it.
It is good that we seek Agatha.
Yes. And again, you must flatter her. Otherwise, she doesn't seem to want to communicate at all.
Whereabouts might we find her?
She is near Coneyberry. She lives in a place that's just her lair. It's an old shrine of some sort. But yes, it's near Coneyberry, the city.
Which is about how far a journey?
It's about 50 miles miles from here. It's a day or so by horse.
Maybe best that Agatha goes uncombed.
Then I will take the comb back if that's the case.
No. We will get to this eventually. We just have some matters to deal with in town first.
Can you put us on the adventurer's layaway plan?
Yes, you can put your first payment into the pool for some luck for your day, and I hope you find what you're looking for in this small, quaint town of Phandalin.
Sandowish throws in the coin and says a blessing to Timora.
When Sandowish throws a coin into his precious Timora, he feels luckier.
I will not plunk a coin in your well, priestess, but do not begrudge me that. I just know that it wouldn't work for me. It wouldn't have the same mystique about it. I do not say it is objectively fraud, but I do not have, as we were talking on the subject earlier, the faith for it. And then I say in Elven, game recognize game, real respect real.
Sister Guriel replies with, only fate will tell. Sildar also throws a coin into the well.
Splendorous, as he's leaving, he walks over to the pool and looks in. His eyes blaze with anger as he shouts, lies! He storms out. When he gets outside, he spits on the ground.
When Splendorous spits, his spit lands on his foot.
He smiles and he says, now we're talking. He's in a good mood now. He strolls back to the group.
Goes back to Jerry's apartment. Jerry, I'm telling you, the luck is real. I've proved it out. I proved it. I cursed myself with the bad luck. I'm telling you, Jerry. George, would you shut up? George, can't be real.
You head to the Elderly Farm to the southeast of town. A 45-year-old halfling woman is working the fields alongside her son.
A 45-year-old halfling woman?
Yes.
How do we know that she's 45 specifically?
I don't know. That's just what the description says.
Is it because they were too afraid to make a judgment call of a middle-aged woman?
I don't even know if that's middle-aged for a halfling.
Yeah, that might not be middle-aged for a halfling. Well, what if she becomes a major character and the story goes on for 200 years? You need to know that she's 247.
You're happy 150th birthday.
She has a shirt on that says, kiss me, I'm 45.
It's embroidered, though.
Yeah, exactly. Splendorous puts up a gloved hand to Azorio's ear, and he whispers softly, so, what's the plan?
You look at me like I know when I merely am casting a lure into the abyss.
You hear Sildar go, Colleen!
Oh.
Over here, Colleen! We have a few questions for Carp. And she waves you to come join her in the field.
As Azorio hurries, Splendorous keeps on trying to catch up to him and whisper, we don't have much time. What's the plan?
We flatter the gnome and she shows us her hole.
There's no gnome there. There is a halfling, though.
Splendorous says, okay.
You're confused about what gnome he's talking about because there's only a halfling in the field.
Splendorous assumes that is an absent-minded professor, so Splendorous assumes Azorio meant halfling.
How are all of you today? What brings you to my wonderful farm?
What kind of farm is this?
Oh, just general crops.
General? Not another general.
Splendorous shouts, God damn it! When will you two get it?
Why the outburst?
My friend is a wizard, general practitioner. What farm is this? General crops?
Sildar says to Colleen, these gentlemen have a few questions for Carp. We heard that he knows where a secret tunnel is, and it might lead to Cragmaw Castle.
Splendorous says, I just want you all to know that we will get to the questions in a second, and we will continue with this, but I want everybody to know right now that I'm on to all of you. I know what you're trying to do, but okay. We will both play this game. 2 parties. You'll see.
Well, I'm glad you know about my farming, but yes, honestly, I think if you're looking for the Cragmaw Castle, the best thing is to ask my friend Redith. He's a druid, and there's not an inch of the land that he doesn't know. I think right now he just left for the ruined town of Thundertree. It's west of the Neverwinter Woods, 50 miles northeast of Phandalin. I can give you directions, but he might be the best to find what you're looking for if you're looking for Cragmaw Castle. But Carp here did find something of a secret tunnel.
Yes, that is what we're more interested in. When you talked about Cragmaw Castle, that was a bit of a right turn there, wee woman. We're looking for a tunnel that could lead us to the Redbrands castle.
It really doesn't seem that much of a right turn, seeing how Sildar said you were looking for the Cragmaw Castle, but that's fine. I don't like to argue with elves because they're so wise and elderly, but what do I know? I'm just some halfling like this cutie. And she pinches Sandowish's cheek and gives him a wink.
Sandowish says, "Good morning, fair lassie. I'm sorry, I had not introduced myself yet. I'm Sandowish."
I'm Quidleen Alderleaf. Miss Alderleaf.
Ah.
And she winks. And this is my son, Carp. Hi.
All right, Carp, we have some questions for you.
Yes. Oh, anything.
Well, first of all, we're in a group called the Four Stones.
Oh, wow. That's so cool. I want to be a adventurer myself.
Well, have I got a quest for you, Carp?
Oh, yeah?
Tonight, we need you to lead us to that secret tunnel.
Oh, yes. I saw two big, ugly bandits come out of that tunnel, and I think it leads to under the manor, the Trezender Manor.
Were they wearing red capes by chance, little Carp?
Yes, they came out of the tunnel, and each of them had red capes. That's why I knew they were the Redbrand.
All right. Should we bring him along with us?
Oh, please, Mother, let me help. I'll let you with such a strapping halfling man. And she squeezes your muscles.
You can't feel anything. He's just a ball. You don't know if it's his clothes or his body type or whatever, but he's just round completely. And he flips his straight blonde hair past his eye.
Quilleen says, "Wow, you are such a shapely halfling." And she pats your sides.
Sandowish says, "Quilleen, I will take good care of your boy, and he'll come back stronger and better than he was."
We have a lot of things to harvest.
We'll take our leave of you now, but you have my word that we will return your lad 100% intact. Fair maid.
I trust you, so take good care of him. And Carp, take good care of this strapping Sandowish.
Sandowish takes her hand one last time and looks into her eyes and flips his hair again and bats his eyeshadowed eyes.
As you leave the field, headed to Phandalin's minor exchange to talk to Helia Thornton, Splendorous, as he walks to the minor exchange from the field, notices that his skin has been burnt by the sun.
Splendorous says, shit. I forgot my parasol again.
Yes.
You head to the minor exchange and enter. A human woman is silhouetted in front of a large stack of parchment, and she weighs gold flakes at the counter. How can I help you, gentlemen?
Splendorous goes up to Azorio and he puts a gloved hand up and he whispers into Azorio's ear and he says, "What do you think the next move should be?"
You're asking me, but it is as though I am staring down a Russian chess master when I am an amateur.
Sildar says, "Don't be rude. Helia, these gentlemen have some questions about the Redbrands." "Oh yes, I'm glad to answer any questions. They're really disrupting the miners here in town."
Splendorous, he takes a knee next to Sandowish. He doesn't whisper. He puts his arm around Sandowish. He says, "All right, you want to handle this one or you want to leave it to me?"
Sandowish says to Helia, "Oh, well, greetings. I am Sandowish. I didn't realize that this information about the Redbrands was so in the open. I was trying to lay low."
Well, they've really disrupted everything here. They're shaking everyone down. To be honest, there's such a problem. I will give 100 gold if you can eliminate them. And mostly their leader, the outlaw called Glassstaff, which none of us have seen. And if you are able to defeat him, please bring me any correspondence that he has in his quarters. It could be useful.
We will do precisely this.
Well, for one, I have seen Glass Ass the Ass Staff, as I like to call him. In fact, he tried to have me killed.
I like that name. I may use it myself. Well, have you tried the Sleeping Giant? That's where a lot of them stay, and I understand they have a base under Tricinder Manor.
Oh, is that where the secret tunnel leads?
Well, I didn't know they had a secret tunnel, but that would make sense if they're under that manor there.
All right, well, how about this, Halia? Shall we strike a deal?
Yeah.
What did she say, 200 gold?
I said 100 gold.
500 gold?
The 200 gold sounds wonderful, but perhaps you could provide us with a couple extra fighting men to help us take on this gang of thieves.
I only have 100 gold, and I don't have any fighting men. I just know mostly miners who are out in the hills right now.
Splendorous says, we'll take women as well.
Well, all of the miners are out. I don't have any fighting sort. You do have Sildar. Yes, I intend to help. I think the 4 stones should be able to rid this town of the Redbrands. But don't forget about me, says Carp behind you.
The 5 stones will take the night.
Yay!
Is Carp a
Halia.
halfling?
I'm a halfling child, yes. I'm half a halfling.
So he's a quarterling.
Yes, but don't quarter me.
Halia, I hope I can trust you
Absolutely. You can trust me anytime.
to not leak this to the Redbrands.
I would never.
But amongst you and your miners, tonight is the night. We'll strike. We'll bring them down.
Yes.
Down so low.
I would be grateful for that. That would be so helpful. Please do.
But you must spread the word amongst your workers. Assemble outside of the manor tonight.
Yes.
I would let them know. That sounds like a wonderful idea. I mean, especially after Narth went missing last night.
Narth is one of them now. I saw it firsthand.
Oh, his wives and children will be devastated. If you do find the Dinar family, at least help rescue them as well.
Is there a reward for rescuing the Dinar family?
Just the 100 gold.
Splendorous, he says, so what you're offering is good, but surely someone willing to pay 200 gold would certainly think it no matter to stretch it to 300 for a job well done and for gained trust.
Honestly, all I can spare is this 100 gold. I mean, as I said before, the Redbrands have shaken us all down. It's the most I can spare.
It is plenty. Do not chase after the mere lucre, for it is knowledge that will shine within our souls.
Yes, as always. And you might even want to go talk to the town master at his hall, Harbin Wester. He might be able to help you round up some people. He certainly is in charge of the jail here in town. So if you can capture any of the Redbrands, we would be able to lock them up there.
What would you want to capture them for?
They may answer to a higher power, so having them and being able to question them might help us out. Even Glassstaff.
If they answer to no higher power and all of the rest of them are slain, then what will you do with them?
I guess we would bury their corpses if they're all slain.
No, but the ones that are in your captivity.
Yes, we would question them.
And then?
I don't know. Maybe they could lead us to more.
Would you kill them? Oh my goodness, this is just like the money changer.
I think that's a little rash.
I don't know why she would like know the protocol. Sorry, I'm just spitballing here.
I love it.
I just like that she's like answering my questions seriously.
Azorio notices that from the tone of her voice and her desire to capture Redbrands, he feels that something is amiss and that she's holding something back more. She has alternative motives for wanting the leader of the Redbrands dead.
There is more to this than you are letting on. Let us know anything that might be of use to us in bringing these Redbrands to justice. For example, why are you interested, I'm just curious, in the correspondence of Glassass?
As I said, it may let us know if there's a higher power that may terrorize us after this. As you know, there's been orc attacks on the Tyburn Trail. This could all be a part of that.
You can tell us, are you in league with any other secret societies?
I mean, if you think the miners are a secret society because they're underground, like I said, I'm just here. I'm a moneylender.
Splendorous slightly raises his voice and he says, what do you know about the bleached spider?
Yes.
I know nothing, but maybe the Redbrands do, and I don't appreciate your tone of voice. So you can either leave...
I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm sorry. I just got a little carried away.
Well, I'm busy, so the 100 gold stands. And if you want any more information, I suggest you go down to the town master, Harbin Wester, and ask him. He certainly is the one who should know anything about anything. You're headed to the town master hall.
Splendorous, he says, do you think the town master will know what happens to the goblins after their friends are killed and they are the only ones left and they are in captivity?
Sildo says, no.
Splendorous says, well, I'm going to ask him anyway. Say, Sandowish, don't you remember back at the tavern, you said that you had a plan? Isn't that right?
That's right.
What was your little plan, little man?
Splendorous says, well, it might take some practice, but I thought since we're teaming up, we might want to design some combat moves. And I was thinking you should throw me at an enemy.
Yes, throw you at an enemy. That's genius. I think that could work quite well.
I could, strike him down with my sword.
We should practice every night. I will toss you as quickly as possible. We will be able to do it with blinding speed. Before anybody knows it, they're suddenly decapitated.
It'll be the first of many of our combo moves of the 4 stones.
Yes, we will have an infinite number of combinations so that our foes will never be able to predict what we will do. We will outmaneuver them with speed and wit and strike.
And spellcraft.
Yes, Azorio.
Don't forget spellcraft.
Oh, of course not.
I am planning on putting this glass ass to sleep so we can merely roll him out as on a stretcher and bring him to justice.
Azorio, but we are talking about combo moves right now. What do you think would be your combo move with me?
I am not entirely sure. A wizard stands alone in his ivory tower, and his moves by themselves are sufficient.
I have an idea. How about this? I have my axe, and then you cast your some sort of lightning spell onto the axe, and then I throw the axe at an enemy.
Right.
Instantly chopping them in half and electrocuting them simultaneously.
That might work.
Sounds like a great move.
Yes. I've got plenty more. You know, sometimes I write down these ideas in my diary before bed.
Seems like a good way to release negative thoughts.
Yes, it is all part of my routine to unwind in the evening before I retire to bed.
Well, let's add this to the routine. And Sandowish jumps up into Splendorous's arms.
And then Splendorous whirls him around and tosses him in the air and catches them, and then pretends to throw him at Azorio, but then catches him at the last second, and then spins him around one hand like a basketball pizza or something, and then puts him down. And Splendorous says,
unfortunately, Splendorous jams his finger and drops Sandowish, but Sandowish's dexterity is so good that he lands on his feet like a cat. Your finger hurts and it starts to swell.
Ah, shit, I jammed my finger. I don't think that's ever happened to me before in my life. What awful circumstances today. My dexterity is only 9. Cut me some slack here.
Next time, just throw me forward with your strength, not your dex.
Yes, I think that's a good idea.
The town master's hall has a sturdy stone walls, a pitched wooden roof, and a bell tower at the back. Posted on a board next to the front door is a notice written in common. It reads, Reward, orcs near Wavern Tor. Those of mind to face the orc menace should inquire within. The notice bears the town seal and an indecipherable signature. You walk into the town master hall and you find yourself a fat, pompous, old human man sitting there.
Nice. We could just tell right on sight that he's pompous.
He's dressed nicely, almost as nice as Splendorous sometimes.
So Splendorous, he puts up 2 gloved hands to his mouth, and he whispers to Sandowish and Azorio, Thoughts?
Sandowish is just gonna wait outside.
Tell me, man of great pomp and prestige, we are of a mind to put an end to this Redbrand nonsense.
The Redbrands, they're just mercenary guild. Not at all that much trouble, really. I wouldn't worry about them. The bigger trouble is that orc problem to the east on the Triburn Trail near Wavern Tor. We're giving 100 gold for anyone who can get rid of them. That's the bigger threat. I wouldn't worry about the Redbrands at all.
Well, I hear they're really giving a lot of trouble to the average citizen, roughing them up, taking their money. Such disturbance of your town at the level of its economic base is bound to cause some topsy-turvy bad results.
It's all hearsay. I wouldn't worry about it, really. I don't stir up more trouble, certainly. That's nothing to worry about. I would just say that worry more about the orcs outside of town. That's what I think you should focus on.
I look at Splendorous, I say under my breath that thing about wanting to find more men to help us with the Redbrand issue. I don't think that's going to work out here.
Yeah, so there's not much to spare. I mean, the only fighter I know in town still here is Eldermath out at his orchard. And he doesn't fight anymore. He runs his orchard.
Thank you for telling me that. Maybe he wants to dust off the old sword. Can you tell us whereabouts his orchard is?
It's just northwest part of town, right next to the town green.
Thank you.
Splendorous smiles at the townmaster and he says, well, now you know a second fighter. And he holds out a gloved hand. He bows slightly. He says, Splendorous of Neverwinter, at your service.
Oh, nice to meet you. I certainly think you'll be very good fighting those orcs.
Let's talk business, though. You seem like a smart man, intelligent.
Yes, very.
Town master. Well, you have it here on good authority from the nobility of Neverwinter that I have a very good piece of real estate offer for you.
Well, I don't need any real estate. I'm fine.
Wouldn't you like to make more money?
I appreciate it.
Aren't you interested in money? Huh?
Well, I don't think that there's plenty of
man of your status,
real estate around here.
Aren't you worried about your wife, kids, their futures?
Not particularly. No.
Oh. Well, do you know anybody who might be interested in buying a cave? It used to belong to some goblins. I'll clean it out. We'll sell it to them for a discount, you know.
Maybe some of the miners here, but if there was any gold, but it sounds like usually there's not much gold in caves.
Think of the opportunity location. Just putting it out there.
Sildar says, lay off of it, Splendorous.
If you know anybody,
thank you very.
The 4 stones.
Thank you very much, Town Master Wester. We'll head on over to Eldermath's orchard and see if he would want to join us about those orcs.
Did Sandowish see anything waiting outside?
A few miners walk by here and there, bringing gold to the exchange.
When the miners walk by, Sandowish says, "What's your name?"
Fuck off. And they keep walking.
I say, "Don't forget the meeting outside of the manor tonight."
He flips you the bird and keeps walking.
Splendorous walks outside and then he looks at Sandowish. The people of this town really rub me the wrong way.
It's like nobody here gets me. They don't understand.
I know. It's almost as if people are so bad here. It's almost as if you could walk down the street, you could ask somebody, hello, what's your name? And they would just flip you off.
That's just what happened to me, Splendorous.
You see way off in the distance, the miner gives you the suck it sign.
Oh, Splendorous says to Sandowish, if that just happened to you and then that over there, you must be having really bad luck today, huh? He opens the door for Azorio to come outside and the others.
Oh, Splendorous, we have learned of another fighter in the region who may be able to help us overtake the Redbrand.
That sounds like a good plan. Let's go.
You see a fit, silver-haired half-elf, well over 100 years old, working among the orchard, the trees heavy with apples. In the distance is a little cottage beside the orchard.
I say in Elvish, in the wintertime, the lazy man goes hungry.
He says back in Elfish, I've not heard that saying in a long time. How are you, gentlemen? And what can I do for you? Would you like some apples?
We are fine this fair day.
Oh, yeah.
Splendorous says, this town, I'm telling you.
Yes, I know I personally would like to try one of your apples.
Go ahead and pluck one from the tree.
Azorius does just that.
When Azorio plucks the apple from the tree, knocks another apple off the tree that hits Splendorous square on the head.
Damn it! I should have worn my lucky wig today.
What can I do for you, gentlemen? What brings you here? My name is Darin Eldermouth.
Darin, I don't know how much word from the town you hear, what news reaches your ears out here in this peaceful orchard, in your humble abode, but there lies in the town something that is causing things to go amiss. There is a contingent there, a group of brigands who call themselves the Redbrand. Are you privy to this?
Yes, I'm very aware
Yes.
of that.
And it is times like these in which it simply cannot do to be a yeoman farmer. It simply cannot do to sit back and rest and live the peaceful life when, well, I hate to say it, but war must be waged. We have hatched a surefire tactic to go in and infiltrate, but we need more muscle. Perhaps we could persuade you to dust off the skills and the garments of the past and go forward and don the fighter's armor again.
I would say that maybe those swords are not so dusty, but I am here for maybe what is a greater threat. I'm part of the Order of the Gauntlet, and I'm here mostly about the old Owl Well. I've heard of some bad things. Several prospectors there have been run off by supposedly the undead. I may wonder if you could. I must attend to my orchard. It is harvest time. But if you could visit these ruins and find out what is going on there. I know that there is an old watchtower from an ancient magical empire known as Netheril, and I worry that the magic may just be laying dormant there. If you could explore that and find out what is happening, I would appreciate that. But otherwise, I cannot help you very much. Other way of fighting, but certainly I know that the Redbrands are inside the Transar Manor.
Thank you for your consideration, good Darin. This me and my companions will investigate when the time is right, like the golden apple.
Yes, and do watch out for that glass staff. I heard he is quite the foe.
We have plans for him.
But let me know if I can help in any other way than my sword, but I would appreciate you heading out to Old Owl Well, just a couple days march out of northeast of Phandalin.
Yes.
I'm a fighter as well.
Ah, that's good to hear.
You say that you are retired?
Yes, sort of. I'm mostly here as an information gatherer for the Order of the Gauntlet.
And so that's why you can't go with us, huh?
Mostly.
What does the Order of the Gauntlet want to know so much? Why are they so interested in the Redbrands?
Well, we're mostly interested in the undead threat more so than the Redbrands. It seems to be more existential.
This undead threat, what exactly are you up against?
I don't know. That's why I'm hoping you would go out there and check for me.
We'll go out there as soon as we can. But how about you come with us tonight as an escort? No fighting, I promise.
Well, I might be able to do that. Well, if I do that for you, if I come with you, would you be willing to check out this Old Owl Well? How about we make that deal?
Of course.
Great. Let me know when you need me and where to meet.
All right, meet us at the Alderley Farm at sunset tonight.
I will do that.
Bring your swords and your armor.
Swords?
Just in case.
Just the one.
Earlier you said my swords aren't so dusty.
Well, I mean, I don't need all of them all at once. You know, I'd have to carry 5 or so. I'll pick my best one.
Splendorous says, I carry 5 weapons sometimes.
I'm sure you do. Let me get back to my orchard and my harvest, and I will meet you tonight.
Thank you, half-elf farmer.
Thank you.
As we're walking away, Splendorous whispers, he possesseth not the right temperament for a fighter, I think. Though I do not doubt his skill. Seems like a dour fellow.
One thing's for sure, you can't doubt his skill as a fruit farmer.
Are his apples sweet and crisp and delicious?
You look down and Sandowish has pulled out his shirt forward like a kid would carry like sand or whatever. And he's got a bunch of apples in his shirt and he's eating them.
Splendorous helps himself to one. What kind of apple is this? Is this a pink lady or perhaps a honey crisp?
Splendorous, you have a hard time telling what type of apple it is because you take a big bite of a worm inside of the apple.
Well, that's unfortunate. He shrugs and continues to eat, like, around the worm, I guess, or doesn't care that much. Also, did you notice how we caught him when he said, "What can I do to you?" And then he had to correct himself? We all remember that. We all can't pretend like we weren't there.
Right, very suspect.
Just remember, I've been saying this since I woke up today. I had a strange feeling. I've not been impressed with anybody that we've encountered, aside from that money changer, who I did find very attractive, according to the dungeon master.
Well, you didn't find her attractive, you found her trustworthy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Well, I only find attractive people trustworthy, so...
That makes sense. I'll allow it.
You know, there's a very high correlation between people's attractiveness and their trustworthiness. Just something to think about.
All right, 4 stones. It's time to get ready for the night.
Yes.
Now we must prepare.
What sort of shenanigans are we going to get up to? Perhaps we should bust some more heads, do some more investigation. When do we get those red capes again?
At the end of the night, that's what we need to do next.
Yes. We need to come up with some sort of backstory, right? Because in case anybody asks questions, like usually they'll say something like, hey, I didn't recognize you guys. Here, we have to say like, oh, we're new recruits. You know.
Right.
We probably shouldn't use our real names just in case.
Yeah, let's scheme for a while and see how well we scheme.
All right, let's go back to the inn to scheme and get some liquid courage for tonight.
Yes.
We may be thick in battle again.
A couple extra meals to fortify our
We
strength.
must drink extra.
Did you finish all your apples?
Yeah, I ate all the apples.
Splendorous didn't eat any after that one.
Azorio, did you have any of the apples?
Yeah, I had a couple more.
What kind of apple was it?
It's a Fuji.
Is it a Fuji? It's
Yeah, it's the yellow.
really sweet, huh?
You walk into the inn and you sit down.
Yeah, let's scheme at the common table again, really loudly.
Splendorous thinks to himself and he says, okay, the first thing we need to do is get used to calling each other code names. So what I was thinking is that we could all use a variation of the name. I don't know. What do you think?
I want my code name to be the Dar.
Dar. Okay, so we have
The Dar.
Okay, we have the Dar, and then somebody else, one of us will be like Dar, right? And then the third of us will be like Dar A, and then I will be Dar B.
I'll be the Pipmeister.
No, you're Dar C. Dar A, Dar B, Dar C, Dar, and Dadar. You see? That way, people will get very, very confused.
Carp says, what about me?
Carp, you're Cardi. Cardi B. Sorry, that was really dumb. That was really stupid.
Whatever, as long as I get to go along.
Yes, Cardi. That will be you. Or, I'm sorry, Dardy, not Cart. I'm mixing myself up. It's not Cardi, it's Dardy. Dardy B.
Sildar says, that sounds a little confusing.
Exactly. It's meant to be confusing, so then they'll never be able to pin anything on us. They'll be able to say, oh, he said his name was Dar.
Yes.
That gets them nowhere when they try to track us, because we all have a variation on the name Dar.
I just worry that we'll be confused as well, but...
Well, it's very simple. You are Dadar, and then I am Darby, and then Azorio is Dare, and then and then Sandowish is Dar, and then Carp is Dardy B, and then the other one, what's the other one's name?
I'm Pipmaster.
Yeah, you're
Pipmaster Flex.
You're Dare.
Oh, I'm Pipmaster Flex.
AKA Pitmaster Flex. How's that?
Hey! Okay!
Sandowish, he was gone that whole time. He comes back to the table and he has an ale and he hops up onto the bench.
The bench creaks.
Somehow he's overheard this whole conversation because he says, back in summer camp, they used to call me Toro Pedo, so that'll be my nickname.
If we're going with other monikers from our life, you can call me the Gordian.
Yes. Okay, so you are Dar A, but also the Gordian.
No, he's just the Gordian.
His nickname is the Gordian.
That's a secret name, is the Gordian.
Yes. Yes. His secret nickname is the Gordian.
Harp says, "Can my secret name be the fish?"
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yes. And then
He's so excited.
and then Darty B is the fish.
Okay, I'm just so excited.
And then my secret nickname, I will be called Sandowish.
No, you can't use our names. They're gonna know, because I used to be in the Redbrands.
Especially that name.
But they'll, oh, that's right. Okay, my nickname is going to be Azorio.
That's better. That'll work.
Yes.
How about we call you the Wig? For your secret name, not your code name.
Well, how about this? How about the Wig will be my alias?
Yes.
Okay, how did we all meet?
We'll say we're all new recruits, but we'll, unfortunately, I think Sandowish might be recognized, so he'll have to stay in the back of the pack.
Well, Sandowish, he can wear some of my makeup and perhaps wear a wig. Perhaps he can be a miniature Splendorous.
Or, here's an idea. We give the fourth cape to Darner, and we say that we have captured Sandowish, and we'd like to give him to Glassstaff, and then they would lead us directly to him.
Give him the glass staff for what?
So that we can then...
That's a sick plan, man. Come on.
We would then attack.
Come on.
Once we reached Glassstaff.
Please, could we come up with some sort of less sick and disturbing? Do we even know for certain if he is into children or little people like Sandowish?
Harp says, "It sounds like a pretty good plan to me."
But how do we even know if he's into little boys at all?
Sandowish is not a little boy. He used to be in the Redbrands.
But this leader is a human, is that correct?
Yes, who would be familiar with Sandowish.
Yes, I'm sure. Familiar? He looks at Sandowish and he says, Sandowish, I will get revenge for you. Now I understand why your anger burned so deep. I didn't understand what was at stake, but we're here for you.
Sandowish is really confused. Or Toropedo. Toropedo's really confused.
Toropedo, I am so sorry, but believe me, we will restore your honor. He gets out his axe and he says, I'm really, really fucking upset now. This son of a bitch.
Splendorous, are you under the impression that Sandowish is a child and not a halfling?
Well, in the eyes of some sick pervert, they might just be the same thing.
Splendorous, I think you've got the wrong idea, but I do appreciate your fierce candor with this issue, and I know I will exact my revenge on Glassass the Ass Staff.
But what about my plan about giving the fourth cape to Darnan and using you as bait to meet Glassstaff?
Do we have to use him as bait for this sick man? It's very hard for me to walk in there and convincingly say, we have this former member here and we're just going to give him to your sick leader for whatever his sick desires may entail.
It's up to you. I'm just proposing a plan.
Azorio, are you okay with this?
Tell me, the Dar, why would the halfling be a good bait for Glassass, the Glassstaff?
Well, as he's mentioned multiple times,
He's a pervert.
he used to be a member of the Redbrands, and so they'll lead us straight to Glassstaff so that he can punish the torpedo, and then we can attack in that moment.
The problem is that as soon as Glassstaff sees that you are not Redbrands, you will be swiftly dealt with.
Exactly.
It is better to go in and disguise. Plus, I will not be cuffed. I will not be chained or roped. I need to have my wits about me to sneak about the ruins of this manor.
Shall we have you stealth in the shadows as we give the fourth cape to Darner? We'll pose as new members.
The other advantage of Toropedo wearing the cape is that I'm still in good favor with some of the Redbrands. In fact, I'm sure some of them would be willing to defect to our cause.
Now that's enticing.
Yes.
Oh boy, that sounds like a good thing.
Yes. The 4 stones. Splendorous says, this is where it starts again. This is where the 4 stones start amassing great power.
You hear the front door of the inn open, and in the frame of the door is Freda with a pile of red capes. She walks over to the table and throws them on top of the table, and she says, There you go. I'm going back to sleep because I've been working on them all day and night. And she walks back out, closes the door behind her. The cloaks are almost an identical match. And you actually have 5 of them because she gave back the original pattern.
Sandowish will say, let's ready ourselves for tonight. Eat, pray, equip ourselves, and don't forget that rope loop and the coin.
Put our hands in, gentlemen. The door.
Torpedo.
The Gordian.
Wait, I forgot what.
You're the wig.
Oh, I'm the wig. Yes, I think that's my name.
And don't forget about the boulder.
The fish. And it's Pitmaster Flex.
I know sometimes players don't like to be told what they think, but yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
I think the DM can say what you're thinking, though, because sometimes you don't control your thoughts.
Yeah, oh, totally, yeah. I just remember there were some choice Edward Stewart moments.
I remember, believe me.
Sponsors by Anton's mom.
Okay, bio.